Hey guys, I'm gonna go over the OBS situation we got going on. I think my other actual truck's out there. Let's see, the frame is bent on it. Shouldn't be a front end on it. Let's go check it out. So we got, here we go. So this is the blue truck. I changed the doors out, and that's when I noticed the doors started hitting the fender pretty good on this side. And went to check it out. And then you can see the frame damage there. Everything's just kind of messed up there. So it looks like the truck ran into something at one time. And they kind of moved things around, so I didn't know it when I got the truck that it was damaged that bad. So that's a problem. This is a rust-free truck. It's from California. So my dad, he decided to help me out on the frame, and I'm not sure if the truck's in the back, but my cousin Jacob had the wrecked truck. I'm not sure if they wrecked it with a tractor. Is it back here? They smashed it. The whole cab was caved in. A square body back there. I don't know where the truck is. But anyways, that thing was completely annihilated. But the frame was fine. So Dad took the frame out. But it's an extended cab truck. So I'll show you here the difference. Of course, the length's different. But look at the thickness of metal. This is a standard short bed truck. See how thin the metal is? We'll come inside here. I believe that's a 94. And he was saying the metal's thicker. Which it definitely is. It's probably the next gauge up. So the frame's heavier duty. So then he shortened the frame and welded it in a plate. He's done this quite a bit. Doesn't faze him at all. So did that, had the frame sandblasted, then transferred all the suspension components I put on, which are pretty new. Had my best friend Shay come over. He put a posi unit in the rear end. So now I have a posi 342 gears. I want to stay with that, but I put new gears in it. And then on the fuel tank, I'm using a Corvette fuel pump. This is a LT1 Corvette fuel pump. It was exactly the right height. And it has an O-ring underneath there, and mounted it like this. Not the best way of doing it, but you know, with the O-ring underneath there should be good. And then I put thread sealer on these, so it shouldn't really leak or anything. And the way it comes up real high, even if fuel sloshes around, it's going to not really cause a problem, hopefully. All right, and then painted the frame. We're going to transfer more suspension components off different trucks. Like some things were heavier duty than others. Got a new rebuilt gearbox on it, new bushings, and he went and notched the frame here. This frame is so it clears this compressor. This compressor rocks. It's an awesome compressor. It came with the motor, has a stretch fit belt. It will last a long time. So by doing this notch, it really makes a nice clean setup. And then you could leave this accessory drive 100% stock and run an electric power steering pump if you wanted to. But I'm running my swap time drive setup I sell for power steering. Next, this was a waste of time. So this has had higher oil pressure than I was used to. I assumed LE4s and LE2s are like the LE7s. They're electrically controlled on the oil pump, and I figured the E90 ECUs probably ran a different signal to the pump. They made it fully variable. I was wrong. There's absolutely no electrical control in this thing. That oil pump, there's no valve in it. Never was a valve. You can't put a valve in it, it won't fit. That's what a valve looks like. I took this out of an L83 pump. I thought I just swapped the valves out, but it does not exist. So we're putting the oil pan right back on, and now we can install the engine. So when I start it up, it makes like 80 pounds of pressure, which is quite high. But now I'm very confused how these engines controlled oil pressure or if they didn't. But then that's still high oil pressure. I got the 8-speed 2-wheel drive setup. I got a couple different mounts we're gonna try. So this is a standard Turbo 350 mount. This is a polyurethane mount. Only reason I have this is because I need a center hole. I was using this, but that stud made it very hard to remove all the cross member and everything. Everything was stuck. You couldn't jack up the transmission to get the stud out of the way. So you want to use something like this and unbolt it and everything slides out and the cross member is out. So we're going to install the motor today, I believe, once the oil pan's on. So we'll throw that on. And this is getting the 88 cab on it. So this one has, this is a low mileage setup here. And it's all original. So that's what's awesome. Nothing's really been touched on this truck. And we'll keep it this way. Has 124,000 miles on it. Original key. Original floor mats. Original seat. Original everything. Dash. Look at that. No issues with it. So we'll steam clean the carpet. Put this cab on it. And just piece the thing together. Door shut nice. But that's the update on my build. Thanks for watching. Already got the drivetrain in. We had to change out these bushings. I ordered the wrong ones. I think they're for a car. So the tabs, these things right here were flip-flopped. So the high one was on top, the low one was on the other side, and then the bolt spacing's a certain way for each side. So let's make sure you have the mounts for your actual truck. And then did all that. Then we got set in, and we ended up trying a few different cross members. I think this is my factory one out of my blue truck. It's got a center slot. You can't really see here, but then we used polyurethane bushing just because it has 3 bolt holes in it, so we can get a line pretty easy. And then to get your angle, we're just going to space it once the body's on and put a spacer on it to raise it up, get a few more degrees, because I think it needs to go up just slightly. And then your drive shaft alignment, same thing. You can kind of dial that in. Once you get your cross member, everything supported, then lock it down. So oil pan, of course, is back on. Intake's just resting for now. I need a different feed line. I want to put a factory feed line on it because it actually has a check valve built into it. So it helps with starting. But that's the way we install the motor. All factory. This is the truck manifolds. A little tight right there, but it does clear. Compressor, plenty of room with that notch. And then put the power steering belt on and put the pump on and be back to where it was and put the front clip on.